Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to learn about object oriented programming concept. Now it is useful for many languages. Now what we are going to understand over here is from the perspective of Java. So object oriented programming is at the core of Java. So we need to be very clear with this basic principles of OOP. So remember one thing, any computer program, it consists of two elements. One is code, another one is data. So basically code is something we say what is happening or how it is going to happen, and the data is who all are going to be affected by this code, that is the data. So this relationship is always maintained by any computer program. So we need to understand what approach is being followed by object oriented programming languages. So let's start with abstraction. Now abstraction is an essential element of object oriented programming. What is the main purpose of it? The main purpose of abstraction is to hide the unnecessary details from the users. Now we human beings always manage things very easily if the complexity is hidden and well manageable. So basically abstraction helps in hiding all the complexity of any element, or you can say of any object. It hides it, and whatever the complexity is there, it's broken into different pieces, and those pieces can be managed very well. So this helps in managing the complexity of any programming. So the main purpose, again I'll repeat it, the main purpose of abstraction is hiding the unnecessary details from the users, and is the basic essential element of object oriented programming. Now we will start with the three OOPS principles. First is encapsulation. So encapsulation is basically, it is a mechanism that binds together the code and data, and it tries to keep them safe from the outside interference. So basically encapsulation is like a wrapper. It's a wrapper and everything is wrapped inside that wrapper. So encapsulation basically helps in protecting and having a controlled access to the data or controlled access to the code. So I'll explain this more in detail with the help of class. So basic example I can give of encapsulation is the class. We all must have heard about the class that we write in Java. So that actually helps us to give a controlled access to our code, controlled access to our data, to our objects, by defining different control mechanism like private, public. We will learn about it in detail in my next video. The second concept is inheritance. Inheritance is something which it is the process by which one object acquires the properties of another object. So basically, for example, if I say there is a dog, okay, there's a dog is an animal, okay, dog is an animal, cat is an animal. Now they both have similar kinds of behavior pattern, like they eat, they sleep, they eat, sleep, and they need some kind of food. So they have their own specific behavior pattern. But eating, sleeping, there are something which is very common to all the animals. So what we do, we basically have one set of properties, or you can say one set of features, that we list it into a one group of object, one group of class, and we just try to inherit those properties or those features to its baby child, to its child classes. So that's the concept of inheritance. So where we don't have to write something, the properties or behavior again and again for different types of objects. You can just take the properties from the main object, the main parent class. So the parent class property is transferred to the child property. So this can be done with the help of inheritance. This is very useful if we want to remove many redundant type of code, and we can have one simple kind of code and very easily manageable type of code. Third concept is polymorphism. Polymorphism is one interface and multiple methods. Now for example, we must have already learned about the stack, first in first out concept. Now suppose there is a stack of numbers and we have to remove the first number out of it. So remember, we can have different kinds of numbers. It can be a whole integer, it can be a floating number, it can be a double. So there can be different types of data types of numbers, right, of the integers. Now instead of, if we are following a different kind of approach and not a object oriented approach, then we might have to write different code for different types of data. But in case of object oriented programming, now since we have similar kind of operations to be performed on all three types of data, whether it is floating number or it's a whole integer, we want to perform the same kind of operation, then we can have a single interface with multiple methods. We can have means we can use the same name but for the different data types. So here we don't have to write the code again and again. So that is how the polymorphism plays a role. So these three are the basic principles of object oriented programming. Now whenever in future we are going to write the code, we will see you will be able to find out that yes, we are using these kinds of principles in our code. It's very useful. So we will start with the other concepts soon. Thank you.